Hello, all you beautiful people. It is I, the Vapor Jester, here to bring to you something that you've all been waiting for. The very first of my performances for you all to enjoy. So, without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? As you all know, this is a talk show, and thusly a talk show must have some form of topic for me to talk about. So I guess we'll start with origins. Origins are nice, aren't they? They always tell a nice little story. Get the ball rolling. Make sure that you have the background of what's going on. I could tell you the origins of this little project, but you all kind of know that already. But something that I think a lot of people don't seem to understand about origins is that they don't really help us get in tune with something, or a character for that matter. Surely you've all watched a TV show or a movie or seen some form of media where they tell the origin story of a character and then all you can think is, okay, that's cool and all, but who the fuck is this? Why do I care? It's like that, yeah? So why would anyone ever want to actually learn the origin stories of a character? Maybe you just like him that much. But then again, if you like a character before you know their origin story, do you even need the origin story? You know what I mean? But origins. I can honestly remember a lot of characters when I heard about their origin story. A lot of things, and it's just a lot of these characters I just flat out don't care about. Like, everyone remembers laughing at Broly in the original timeline of Dragon Ball. Yeah, remember that? How he was literally angry because all Goku did was cry. Can you imagine how fucking stupid that must have been to present that as on the storyboard? Just, hey guys, I know the perfect idea of how to make our villain the villain and the reason why. Alright, lay it on us, bro. He's literally a giant fucking baby. Leave. No, absolutely not. Guys, we have 2 days before we need to get all the actors into the booth. Fuck it. Run with it. That's the only thing I can think of that they had to go with it. Because who in their right mind will actually stick with that? Or maybe the origins of, what's his name? Omni-Man from Invincible. It's like the Kryptonians if they were alive and evil. Then again, the Kryptonians ain't exactly good if General Zod ain't then go. Actually, Kryptonians are all assholes if you really get down to it, because I can remember about half of the multiverse stories where Superman ends up in just one other place. All it takes is him getting fucking course uncorrected or whatever to one place, and then next thing you know, it's over. Evil. Biggest asshole possible. Injustice kind of showed that, yeah? I mean, he ended up everywhere, but all it took was, his wife dying, and then after that, over. But then again, he didn't seem to get into it as much as Wonder Woman did, who, may I remind you all, comes from a place where, it is really, really, really hypocritical for her to point out something to Batman that she did. Imagine being born on an island, literally molded from clay, full of nothing but warriors, right? That's all you know in your entire life. Maybe it's a utopia. I don't know. I'm not too big on Themyscira. I don't really care about Wonder Woman. I'm not a Wonder Woman fan like that. I mean, I guess she's alright. I mean, I don't really see anything important that she does, but I guess she does something important. I mean, she's still around, right? But imagine this. Your entire life, you've been bred to be a warrior. You're a princess, even the warrior princess of Themyscira, I believe, right? And then next thing you know, you get on Batman for taking in children and teaching them how to fight, right? And I know what you may be thinking, that she does have a point there, but here's the difference between her and Batman. Batman does it so that they can get all that anger out of the way, so that they can become functional adults. Except for Jason Todd, but I don't know, man. You get killed by some nigga wearing fucking face paint and lipstick, and then get reborn inside of a fucking green goo, and you tell me you're going to be a functional adult, huh? But all of these sidekicks that Batman has, and all he does is just, try to make it so that they can grow up to be functional adults, right? Superheroes, yes, with a lot of stuff that they've seen and everything, but at least they worked through like the childhood trauma, kind of, they've gotten it out of their system, sort of, and they're getting better and they're doing more, right? Like, think about it. Dick Grayson is like not even Nightwing right now. He's like literally just like a secret agent or whatever the fuck, right? He's not running around in spandex, but Batman still is. Yet Wonder Woman over here at this meeting has the absolute balls to say, oh, you take in these children and you raise them to be nothing but fighters and shit like that. Isn't that literally your entire origin story? And then not only that, you come from a place where, like, not only that, in the reboot, these warriors are like raiding lands or something, and like that's how y'all reproduce now. Like, I don't even think like y'all get molded from clay anymore. So the hypocrisy of like Wonder Woman, right, just sitting there. Oh, what'd be funny? Let's make fun of the fact that Batman keeps adopting 12-year-old children and like forcing them to be crime fighters, which is just wrong, by the way. He doesn't force them to do it. Hell, the first time when Dick Grayson kept saying, hey bro, I want to be a crime fighter, he was like, nah, you good on that, fam. And then he was like, hey yo, make me like, hey, teach me how to be a crime fighter, I'm leaving. And Batman's like, shit, he's gonna get himself killed out there. Alright, I'll teach you like 2-3 things that you need to know, and that's it. And there you go, he taught him how to be a crime fighter. And I don't think you guys seem to understand or like appreciate the fact that, like, while yes, Batman being a vigilante, like vigilante justice is kind of like, faux pas and stuff, and kind of is just like a revenge fantasy in a sense. It's still good that like Batman is like helping these kids get off the street. I mean, like, he literally took in Jason Todd because Jason stole the wheels off the Batmobile. Who the fuck else is going to do that? You think Wonder Woman's going to do that? Do you believe, honestly, that Wonder Woman is going to adopt some kid after they steal the fucking windshield off the invisible jet? No, she's not. She's going to, like, report them to, like, someone or whatever the fuck. Fucking Wonder Woman. Fucking, And then, like, can we talk about, like, the entirety of the Justice League, right? Like, the entirety of the Justice League is, like, consistent of, like, these people who, like, have had so many moments where they're useless. Now, we're not talking about Aquaman. Aquaman is Aquaman, okay? Like, leave him alone, okay? He does enough, okay? He's the king of the entire ocean, okay? I don't know about you, but I mean, I kind of like, looking at the sunset on the beach. So, it kind of be nice to make sure that there's some dude over there, making sure that sharks aren't coming up and like biting the shit out of me or whatever the fuck, so that I'm not getting stung by crabs, I guess. But, Superman has been useless in like a lot of situations. Remember when he got folded by Doomsday? Like, he beat Doomsday and then Doomsday got back up, but Superman was folded. Y'all remember when Batman, though? Like, Batman, unlike the rest of them, at least he was able to be useful. Remember when he killed Darkseid? Yeah, no one seems to remember that, but he killed Darkseid with a radion bullet and then got sent through time to be a badass through time. He was still Batman. I don't know. I think it was like Captain Bats, like, one time when he was a pirate. There was also another time where I think like he was supposed to be like a gunslinger. He was like a sheriff. I don't know if they still called him like the Batman. I don't know. But who else? Green Lantern. Oh my god. Okay, so I have beef with Green Lantern, right? How the hell are you going to have a power based around a color? And before you guys try to like say, oh, well, like, it's not exactly the color that's the power. Here's the problem with that, right? The color is where the power comes from, and the color is what affects it. Because think about it like this. The Green Lanterns, okay, they're green, right? And their entire thing is willpower, okay? They are willpower. Cool. That's cool and everything, right? Their main enemy is the Yellow Lanterns, and the Yellow Lanterns represent fear. Never forget that there was a moment in like the comic books where like Batman, in order to like show that Green Lantern is like an idiot, is like below him, painted everything, including himself and Robin, yellow, and drunken glass lemonade at that, like yellow, just to make it so that Green Lantern was like unable to like use his power ring because he was surrounded by yellow. And then he brought up an interesting fact. How the hell are you going to have an entire superpower where, like, your entire thing is as long as you have enough willpower, you can do anything in the multiverse, right? Yet, y'all get beaten by a color y'all get beaten by a primary color, which, by the way, combines with another color to make green. A green isn't by itself. Green is a secondary color, and it needs yellow in order to make it. So how the hell are you guys going to get beaten by the color yellow when you're a combination of yellow and another color, which is blue, by the way? And I don't want to talk about the Blue Lanterns because apparently the Blue Lanterns suck ass unless they have a Green Lantern near them, which again goes to show you how the hell are you going to be beaten by something like blue gets beaten by yellow, okay? I guess that's how that works, right? In Green Lantern lore, and like, you know, on the emotional spectrum, fear beats hope because blue represents hope. The thing is though, you need, apparently, according to the emotional spectrum, if you like in the color wheel, if you mix, you know, hope and fear, you get willpower. That doesn't seem very healthy. Does it? Like, I don't know if that's how willpower works. I would not want, like, willpower to, like, be fueled by hope and fear. You know, that's kind of how you get, like, a lot of bad shit in the world. I think that's low-key how you get, like, murderers, like, genocides and stuff. And who the fuck wants that? Well, then again, a lot of genocides have happened in DC Comics. Ooh, that's just something to digest. A lot of murder happens in comics. Because for a lot of heroes to say, yo, we don't murder, bro, that ain't our way. Y'all do a lot of murder in a lot of alternate scenarios, which are all technically canon because they are, you know, alternate universes and stuff. They are canon. Some of them aren't, but, you know, they are. The majority of them are. Yet, oh, we're superheroes. You know, we take the moral high ground. We don't kill. Yet y'all berate each other like every day, bro. Like, think of it like this. Like, being a superhero is like, in being around other superheroes, it's like hanging out with like those assholes in high school that you used to be around. You know what I'm talking about. Don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. Or maybe you hang out with them right now. You never know. You know, check that, you know. Always make sure that you're doing good for yourself. Don't ever say that Vapor Jester doesn't care about you, because I do, kind of. I don't really know you, but I love you. Because, you know, you're checking in on this and I love you for it. But being a superhero around and amongst other superheroes is like hanging out with that one group of asshole friends that like don't know how to like have fun together except making fun of each other, right? Like, they don't really do anything. Like, sometimes they'll play video games or like watch shows or movies together, but outside of that, their main sense of joy is like making fun of each other, right? You don't want to hang around them because they're dipshits. They're just total assholes. Yet here you are hanging out with them. That's what I think being a superhero is like, especially in like DC. Oh, matter of fact, anywhere where you can be a superhero except Kick-Ass, because in the Kick-Ass world, being a superhero means that you're a good guy and like genuinely good, except for that one time. Fucking Red Mist, fucking dick, fuck you. But you know, it's just, why would you want to hang around these people? Why would you ever want to hang around these people? Like, half of these people have Black Air Force energy. And when I say Black Air Force energy, I don't mean like, oh, you know, like they're willing to like throw hands with anybody. I mean like legit Black Air Force energy. Like, bro, like, hell, Batman has Black Air Force. Oh, bro, never forget when Batman admitted that he literally came up with a plan to, if possible, subdue and or kill everyone in the Justice League. He just admitted it to their faces. Just, yeah, that was me, bro. I know all that, bro. I'm willing to do this, bro. What are you on? Fucking locked someone inside of a goddamn like sewer system and left him to die and starve to death. Like, holy shit. There's another thing. Like, you know who also has like some serious Black Air Force energy, like outside of comics? Fucking Mugen from fucking Samurai Champloo. The disrespect on this guy, bro. He shows up into like this restaurant, right? And then like he sees this dude just like, being a dickhead, right? Okay, but he's not doing it because like he just has a sense of justice or whatever. He's doing it because he wants free food because he can't pay for anything. The dude is broke. He's like, hey, bro, I'm gonna beat that dude's ass for you if you can fucking give me free food, right? And then like he's like, bet. And then he goes and he like starts breaking this dude's fingers. He doesn't even care that like he's a politician's son or whatever the fuck, right? He just starts breaking his fingers one by one in front of his entire crew, right? And then when the time comes, he decides to cut the dude's arm off. Just fuck it. Doesn't even care. He just says, fuck it. Let's get to it. You know what I'm talking about? Real Black Force energy shit. Real shit, bro. Get Mugen a do-rag and like some fucking cargo shorts and a fucking white tank top. That right there is some Black Air Force energy. Fucking, you just can't. And for those of you who don't know what Black Air Force energy is, imagine like the one person that like the one person that like is always like doing like hot boy shit, you know what I'm talking about? Like the one that's always like seeming to get into trouble, and like not even the type of trouble where it's like, it's just, slap on the wrist type shit, like a stern lecture or maybe like detention if you were in school. No, I'm talking like the type of shit that like involves like police, you know what I'm talking about? Or like is doing shit that like is on a whole different level of grimy. Just, that's Black Air Force energy. A lack of any sort of consideration for anyone, for human life almost. Like these are like, okay, to put it in like a poetic sense, they are the very embodiment of the storm of chaos that all of us fear yet love to look at, because when it sweeps through, all we can do is stare at it, because we have nothing but the utmost respect that they're able to unleash themselves while we have to cower behind our meager shells of what society says. That's people with Black Air Force activity. I just remembered that like there was a list of topics that I was supposed to do, but then again, I kind of don't do that, so I have a bad habit of getting off topic. And so, how about this? Slang. See, that's perfect. Perfect connection. Slang. Since I just talked about Black Air Force energy, does anyone else feel like slang has just gotten a lot more stupid? Now, I know this make me sound like a boomer or an old head or something, but come on now. You mean to tell me that you have never sat down in front of somebody and like you guys were just having a casual conversation and then they said something and like you just know it was just some slang and you're just like, what? What the fuck did you just say to me? Like, some shit that like keeps getting said to me is like, I call it like internet speak almost. I keep hearing shit like gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? What are you saying to me? And I guess that's how like a lot of people feel like across like a lot of the world, like with different dialects and stuff. But this is different. This is like almost like universal, like internet shit. Like this is internet slang. And I'm like, what the fuck are you saying to me? Or based on what? Like, that's legit like the first thing I said. Like I was like, based on what? And they say, no, it just means like, facts or something like that. Why the fuck can't you just say facts? You know what I'm saying? Why can't you just say facts? Or when people start saying cap instead of lie or fib or something, why did we have to come up with like a whole fucking like another way of saying it? And then you got me saying it, right? People have me saying it. I'm not even going cap. And then I had to explain to like somebody, hey, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, why is it called cap? Why does, because like, I came up with some whole bullshit reason. I was like, because you can use a hat to, cover up stuff, cover up the top of your head. Because, like when niggas go bald or something like that, they cover it up with a cap. You know what I'm talking about? So, cap, and you lying. And they were like, that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. I was like, listen, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's just the way it is living in today's world. I will never get over the fact that like we came up with a whole acronym and then now we don't use it as the acronym. Thought, that hoe over there, those hoes out there, those hoes over there. Yet we simplified it to thought, and then now it's not even an acronym, it's just a word. How the fuck are we going to use an acronym just as a regular word? And then people don't even use it in proper vernacular. People don't even use it with proper grammar. You know what I'm saying? Like, these bitches some thoughts. Like, what? These bitches some that hoe out there? Really? Like, I get it, right? Like, we haven't really like gotten past like that whole people in America can only read like at a 5th grade level thing. But still, what happened to basic grammar? What happened? And you can't even like argue this is Ebonics or whatever the fuck they call that now. I think it's like AAFV or something. African American vernacular. Like, no. As a black person, I'm just here to say it's Ebonics. It sounds cooler. Like, it sounds way cooler to say Ebonics, if you ask me. Because, you know, it makes us feel like it's ours. And people say it's racially charged, so it's nigga. But we say that, don't we? Like, so I don't get it. Ebonics, it sounds cool, you know. Like, also, I don't know about you, but I can make Ebonics rhyme in a poem or in a rap song. How the fuck am I supposed to make AAFV fucking rhyme? Or whatever, AAEV, African American English Vernacular? What is that? What it is? African American. And then at that point, like, it sounds like, you know, you're trying to like distinguish it, and you're trying to make it like you trying to make these big ass words. Like, I don't know, bro. If I were to walk on the street, bro, and say vernacular, the average nigga on the street ain't gonna know what the fuck vernacular means, bro. Who the fuck knows that? Now, if you were to say Ebonics, they would know what that is. But who the fuck knows what vernacular is? I think people are just like using words and then like trying to go above and beyond with them to like prove just how much smarter they are, trying to make us sound sophisticated or something like that. Bro, we're perfectly fine. We can talk for ourselves. We have a whole culture based around talking for ourselves. Like, did people not forget that like the civil rights movement was not even a whole century ago? We just supposed to just forget that? It's just... No, I'd prefer personally to call it Ebonics. If you don't want to call it Ebonics, that's on you. But I think it's like, it's a nice little flair. You know what I'm talking about? You know, it has like a funk taste to it. Ebonics, you know? That sounds nice. And it rolls off the tongue. You know what I'm talking about? Ebonics. You know? Why we trying to like change this thing in order to make it like fit into like this perception of like what is correct? You know? That just makes no sense to me. There's no reason for us to have to change it just because people getting like, you know, all up in arms. Like, and by the way, I haven't heard anyone get up in arms about that. I've literally never even heard people actually say Ebonics before. I just know it. You know what I'm talking about? It's just one of those words that like I've heard and discovered, and, you know, I just read up on it and stuff like that on what Ebonics is. And then I have never heard literally anyone get upset about the fact that it's called Ebonics. Have y'all? Like, comment underneath this video if you have ever heard anyone ever get like upset about it being called Ebonics, or like have had any problems at all, or like if you just think it's even worth something changing. Because at that point, I just feels like it's just performance. It's just performance PC. You know what I'm talking about? It's just performance political correctness. Because who the fuck cares? It's so minuscule. There's so many things in the world that we could actually be giving a shit about. And you have a problem with the fact that the way that we talk is called Ebonics? I know, like, on a macro, maybe, like, it makes sense, right? Like, because, you know, like, the progression for equality and stuff like that. And, you know, but still, the fact that there's a word at all for it is already bad enough. And now we're just trying to like change it and everything like that. Nah, just call it Ebonics, you know? Slang in and of itself is not Ebonics, but Ebonics is kind of slang. You know what I'm saying? In a way, it's more like a dialect. It's like Patois almost, right? It's almost like Patois. In a way, yeah. Is that Patois? I guess. Would you say so? I don't know. But that's how I just feel about it. It's just I don't understand like a lot of slang going around nowadays, but I also don't understand why we got to make it seem like slang in and of itself is like a bad thing. Like we're still calling it slang, right? A lot of people don't even know what slang means. Did you know slang is short for simplified or shortened language? That's what slang is. Yeah, slang in and of itself is a slang word. Yeah, it's slang is slang. It's like onomatopoeia, except onomatopoeia doesn't actually is not an onomatopoeia of anything. What the hell did I just say? I don't even know. Anyways, but that's what slang is. Slang is short for shortened language or simplified language, and in and of itself is slang. So and ebonics in a way is kind of like slang. So I don't get it why we have to like change this whole thing of like, oh, we shouldn't call it ebonics because it's kind of racist. So of all the things that could be racist that we're talking about, it's the name for how we talk. At least it's not like people are walking around calling it nigganese, which is something we could also call it, I guess. I mean, that's up to you. But I mean, I personally wouldn't care. But like ebonics, right? And then, it's kind of racially charged and everything like that. So we should call it something way more complex and using a word that the average person does not know. Like at that point, that's a problem. That's a problem with just like language in and of itself. Why are you using a word that most people don't know to like describe the way that we talk? Thusly ensuring that we'll never use that word, because then you don't explain what the fuck that word means, and then we don't use it. So then you just look stupid because you tried to make it seem like, this is a more sophisticated, it's a more like educated way to call it. That's stupid. Because because first of all, the implications of like that, we need an educated way to sound. We need an educated name for the way that we talk. The entire purpose of slang and, of like ebonics or like dialects and stuff like that is not because you're uneducated. It's for simplified speech, bro. It's slang, bro. It's meant to help you understand like it's a cultural thing, Why are you trying to change the culture in a sense? Why are you trying to change the way the culture works? I don't see a problem with it. It's just, oh, hey, it'd be like really, really great, guys, if like, you could like not call it ebonics, I have literally never heard a black person in my life say that. Never. Never in my life. Growing up, being black, never said it. Never hung around anyone who had a problem with it being called ebonics. As a matter of fact, don't really know a whole lot of people who identify it as ebonics. They just say it's just the way we talk. Who the fuck in their right mind is busy thinking about that? It's just, why? Why would you care when there's so many more pressing issues? And a lot of people will say like, it's not not everyone cares about more pressing issues when this is pressing to them. And I'm like, that's cool and all, but that's also kind of dumb, because if it is something that like is not actively harming anyone, and then there's stuff that is actively harming people, then what the fuck are you talking about? Like, there's people out there that are like that are literally still out there like making it so that like black people can't get jobs, and that are forcing black people into poverty. And yet you're upset and thinking that, where the place to start would be? Changing the word, the term for the way we talk, as though that's going to do anything, really. Like, and you may say, you got to start small, you got to start small. Nah, that's not really going to help, Starting small is how we get stuck in the grass, what I'm talking about? Got to think bigger than that, There's a big ass lawn out there, and we kind of just over here in the roots. When's he gonna stop? When you guys gonna think of the bigger picture? The bigger picture being something that I don't think anyone can really like get a firm grasp on. The bigger picture is like a concept I don't think anyone really, not even me. No, not even me. I'm included in no one, by the way. No one knows what the bigger picture is. What is the bigger picture of anything, But that's a philosophical rant and rambling for a whole different episode, maybe further down the line, if people ask questions. But Speaking of questions, maybe you might have some. Maybe you want to ask them inside the comments. Maybe you might have something that you might want to address that I've said. Maybe you might want to have a talk about it. Who knows? But if there was anything that you wanted to talk about or possibly pitch to me, like a topic, or had a question you want me to address, I have a Patreon down inside the link. If you want to, think about possibly tossing a coin to your local jester in order to see if a topic of yours gets picked or if your question will get answered, which they will. Eventually, I'll cover like all topics or as many as I can and answer as many questions as I can, especially starting off early, since I don't think a whole lot of people are going to be subbing or a whole lot of people are going to be like becoming patrons. So yeah, definitely you're guaranteed basically to get a question answered or a topic addressed. So, but with that, I believe that I've talked for a long time, rambling and ranting, So, thank you all for coming to my first little performance of this little talk show. If people like it, I'll keep making more. If not, well, I'll still keep making more. It's my project, not yours, I guess. But then again, I would like to think of it as something that I'm putting out to help the entire world. With that, I have links down below to my Patreon, as I said before. And until next time, please be sure to tune in and be ready to phase out. This is Vapor Jester saying ciao, and until next time.